Hello people, what is going on? Welcome back to the channel. This is Sorin and the chapter 4 has been announced finally. Therefore, the 56 TP prototype is gonna be the main reward of this chapter, and on top of that there are gonna be two additional features towards this battle pass. Well, what are those? Well, first of all, you can buy the improved battle pass with free experience. For 87,500 free experience, you can get yourself the improved chapter instead of spending the 2,500 gold, which for free-to-play players that is gonna be a very good addition. And if you consider it, if you have the premium account with boosters, that's gonna be taking about maybe 14-15 days to cover up the loss, to say so. So in my opinion, that's gonna be pretty good to get yourself those better rewards. So in terms of the rewards, there are gonna be 50 stages to complete within the next 10 days, because the event is gonna run from July 21st all the way to July 31st. So therefore you have to complete around 5 stages a day, which is 250 points. That's quite a lot of points if you ask me. But the goodies, there are 600,000 credits to grab, some directives as well for this premium, a bounty hardening, the directives, bonds, the 56 TP prototype, which is gonna be right at the end, and on top of that there is gonna be the styles for the improved rewards. In terms of the improved rewards, you get yourself back the, well, not really all the free experience, but you get 14k back, which is good. Another 15 days of premium, 500 credits, the fragments, universal fragments, I think those are called, which theoretically will give you back the free experience that you invested, some equipment, more credit boosters, training booklet, combat missions, and a training booklet, I think. And on top of that, the Carmen de Bisonte style, which has an interesting thing. That's what. In terms of the vehicle, in terms of the 56 TP prototype, I don't think it's called prototype, but the 56 TP. The vehicle itself has a 390 alpha gun. Quite low for heavy. I mean, it's average, but it's still among the lower side. It doesn't have the best DPM, but yeah, the penetration 221, it's decent. 252 on APCRs, I think it's rather low, but still you can work with it. Versus tier 10s, I'm not really sure what you're gonna do, but obviously you have some accuracy, which means you can snipe the weak points, and on top of that some HE penetration to give you another 140 alpha damage towards those paper armor vehicles. Mobility is good at 40 km/h top speed and 14 going backwards. And on top of that, the vehicle is quite healthy at 1450. Once again, not the highest amount of hit points, but it's still pretty decent. In terms of the gun, good dispersion, good aiming time, and overall good stabilization. 35 shells is gonna be enough because your rate of fire is around, maybe with vents, rammer, and food, and obviously the crew. You get your reload time down to 12, which is around 5 rounds a minute, I think. So therefore, yeah, you have to do some damage to run out of ammo. The gun depression is 9 degrees, which is very flexible, and the elevation angle are 20 degrees. Those things are looking pretty good at the moment. AP shell is very good, it's 1018. APCR is 1267. And the H as well flies quite fast. So yeah, in terms of the gun, feels looks pretty decent, and obviously with the shell combinations, it is looking very good, except that DPM and alpha damage that doesn't really feel like a heavy in 2023. Survivability, you have 380 meters view range, which is once again is average for a heavy tank at tier 8. The hit points that I talked about, 80 frontal armor, 80 on the side, and 60 on the rear. It is theoretically not that much, but the upper plate has a slope, so if you're gonna use your full 9 degrees of gun depression, it is gonna bounce some AP and APCRs. turret traverse. In terms of the turret, it has 200 on the front and 150 on the side, which if you look at it, it is very sloped, it's very rounded, and you might think, it's gonna deflect some shells, but we have to take a look at the armor model to see a big trouble. The mantle is only 200 meters, which means you can get penetrated in the turret, straight in the turret, by any tier 7 premium rounds and tier 8 standard rounds and so on and so forth. So you don't really have a turret, don't you? And there's the mobility. This is where this vehicle is shining. It is gonna keep up with medium tanks with a 16.1 power to weight ratio, which is looking very, very good. Yeah, the 5060p, it is it's not really something special, but once again, if it's free, if you have the time to, to complete the chapter, it's a free Polish heavy tank, which you can use to train your 60TP crew into it. And now the main selling point, I suppose to say, of this skin, it will be for it will be Roton over here, of course. On top of its looks, the Carmen de Bisonte style has a unique feature. For 110 days after the chapter becomes available, it will give you a simple daily mission and a reward which can be very substantial. You only need to win once in your 5060p to complete, so it's very easy to complete this mission. And you will receive something from the list below. So the earlier you obtain the style for your new thirsty credit earner, well, it's not gonna be that good of a credit earner because obviously you don't have the DPM and the damage, but yeah, it's a tier 8 credit maker after all. The larger your additional gain it will be. And what are those rewards? So for the next 4 months, pretty much, you might get yourself something out of this. So, well, pretty much the most common ones are, by the looks of it, 150 free experience per day, what, 15k credits, 15 bonds. I mean, actually, the bonds are quite alright. But yeah, once again, if you look towards the lower side of the chances, you can get yourself directives, some big repair kits, big first aid kit, a fire extinguisher, the directives, some boosters which are looking nice, like the credit one with 2%. I mean, yeah. 20k free experience. I mean, that is, if you get 2 or 3 times that, that's gonna be pretty decent. You get all your free experience that you invested into the special battle pass, you get them back. Or if you look at the bonds, 500 bonds, yeah, that's looking quite decent. Or you can get yourself a turbocharger class 1, improve ventilation and a rammer, or if you get lucky, a day premium, which is, once again, it will help you earn your credits. And in terms of the equipment, yeah, I think those are the equipments that you might use on your 5060p, but yeah, that is pretty much the 5060p from the papers. So in terms of the vehicle, how do I look at it in terms of the armor? Because if you look at the armor model, if you look at the live, obviously if it's gonna load, apparently no, it's not gonna load. Okay, now it's loaded. If you look at the live model, yeah, look at this 200 in the front of the turret. Yeah, people are gonna shoot you right in the middle and it's gonna penetrate. And that's AP. With APCRs, you have a higher chance to penetrate more of the turret, of the cheeks, and so on and so forth. So yeah, the vehicle look itself looks quite long, but once again, you have pretty much 9 degrees of gun depression. You have a small cupola, you have around the turret, but obviously if they will fix this and maybe give the bigger cupola, it will be fair. But if you've looked at the comparison, yeah, I feel like the vehicle is the same as the VK4502A. Why is that? Because look at the model. It can penetrate itself in the turret with regular rounds. So yeah, there's like quite unusual. And on top of that, the Tornwagen is here because, yeah, the DPM is kind of the Tornwagen, but obviously the Tornwagen has the better penetration, the better armor, and the better alpha damage on top of that. Actually, it's not a better alpha damage, it has 10 more alpha damage, but theoretically better armor with worse mobility, so yeah. Comparing this vehicle quickly to the 50 TP prototype, worse CPM, worse alpha damage, worse actually part-on-part rate of fire. Sheer velocity, it's pretty much the same. Has much better gun handling than the 50 TP prototype. Actually better mobility than the 50 TP prototype, and the 50 TP prototype has the chunkier turret, has the better armor, and it's more friendlier toward a newer player, a player that it uses all of its energy and all of its mind, to connect the shells and not to angle the armor completely. When you're face hugging someone, you're aiming for the weak point and you leave your keyboard. You know what I'm trying to say. So the 50 TP is gonna be more forgivable, whereas this vehicle you get punished for your mistakes. And in terms of the obviously, in terms of the view range, it's pretty much part on part. Of course, what do I think about this vehicle? About the equipment, let's fully max this thing out. And let's see what we have over here. Let's actually put Brothers in Arms, Repair, Recon, Situation Awareness, Snapshot, and I believe that's all. Maybe you want to put some intuition on it because you have on your 60 TP. What do you want? You want firepower to put yourself the rammer. Do you want hardening? Probably yes. You want to have more hit points so you can deal more damage theoretically on the long run. And the vertical stabilizer might be good, just to get yourself the better gun handling. Yet you can put yourself some ventilation as well, to get yourself quite 2000 DPM. And if you combine that with some food, that's gonna be 2100, which once again is gonna be more workable. You're gonna have much better DPM. You're gonna fire, more accurately. You're gonna have some more view range. Not fully max out, but it's still gonna be something. Actually, you can fully max out with actually no, with the three, with this one. There you go. With periscope, you're gonna have yourself full max view range. What do you want? Some dispersion, and for this one is gonna be this one, all terrain suspension. So this will be pretty much my setup, my desired setup for the 5060p. Once again, really good. What's this? A really good flexibility. Dependable gun, looks like. What else do you have? No mobility. Obviously, the power to weight ratio really helps this tank. On top of that, with this setup, fully max out the view range, which obviously everyone can get this kind of view range. But first thing that I'm happy, you don't need to spend your gold for the improved chapter. You can spend yourself. Obviously, the free experience that you can earn by playing the game. And once again, the catch with 110 days of the style, to say so. Other than that, is the vehicle good? Is the vehicle worth it? If you have the 50 TP prototype, maybe that tank is better for you. If you don't have, then it's your perfect time to get yourself a free tier A premium. And obviously, if you don't have any Polish tank, maybe it's your time to invest some time into the game, and obviously to get yourself this vehicle, which can be a good credit maker in the hands of a good player that knows what he's doing. Because the tank, as I mentioned, has really bad turret armor on the cheeks. Probably is gonna get buffed, but I'm not really sure about that. So guys, this was the video, and hopefully you enjoyed it. And if you did, please give it a thumbs up and a subscribe. And therefore, I will see you, legends, on how you can complete the 50 stages very easily, either tomorrow or the day after tomorrow. So without further ado, guys, thank you very much for watching. I will see you, legends, in the next one. Bye bye.